What's going on, YouTube? First of all, Happy New Year to everybody out there. Wanted to welcome you to 2013, and if you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing, and if you're not a subscriber, hopefully you'll subscribe to my channel this year. So to kick things off in the new year, I wanted to talk about my recent trip that I took for New Year's. I went to New York City, which I have here on Google Maps, and I ended up using Google Maps a lot. Now, I've been in New York City before, but it had been a few years since I've been, and the last time I went, I didn't own a smartphone. I just had a regular Nokia 8910, I think. So not really any maps or any other apps like that. So this was the first time I had a smartphone, and it was really valuable to have. It made getting around super easy, and so I kind of wanted to do a little walkthrough of how I used my phone, and Google Maps particularly. So one of the things you'll see here is, let me zoom in, there is M's on the map, which stand for metro stations. And so if I touch on the metro station, you'll see it gives me the name of the station. The number in the bracket is the train that stops there, and then the line that that train pertains to shows up on the map. So you can see this is the number 6 train, and it is the green line, so that line shows up right there. And again, if I touch another metro stop, it will give me the name of the station and then the line that shows up on there. So if I touch over here, that's a bus stop, so it gives you the bus lines, and this is another train station, and you can see the different lines, the different colored lines popping up on the map. And one of the nice things about that is, I mean, you can kind of see what lines you're close to if you're walking around the city. But say you just don't want to deal with navigating the lines or whatever. Let's say I am over here near the Natural History Museum, so I will zoom in there. So that's the Natural History Museum, and let's say I want directions from there. So let's say I want to get from AC Gears, which is a really cool store in New York that you should check out if you're ever in the area. So let's say I want to get from there to the Natural History Museum. Select this little guy, and then go to Subway, and then get directions. And it pulls these transit directions directly from the MTA website, so they're pretty accurate as far as the website is concerned anyways. If it's wrong on their website, it's going to be wrong on here. But in my experience in the week that I was there, this was never wrong, and it was really great for getting around. So let's say, for example, this one right here has the least amount of transfers. So if I select that one, you can see it tells me to walk from the starting point, which is AC Gears, to the 4th Street station, and then it tells you 7 stops. You can expand that, and tells you all the stops you're going to hit, and it tells you how to get by there. So this is just really useful if you're somebody who's not really good with metros, or you're just daunted by being in a huge city like New York. This makes it getting around really easy. If you go to the map view, it shows you exactly how to get there. This shows you the route essentially that you'll be taking, and if you pick one that has a lot of walking, as you can see here, this one has a fair amount of walking, and if I wanted to not go to the stop that's right next to me, I would have to walk all the way up here, and this gives you walking directions too. One of the other nice things about Google Maps is in large cities, especially like New York, as you zoom in, the map starts to turn into a 3D view, which then with a 2-finger swipe, you can tilt the map, and it makes it just getting around a little easier. It helps you find landmarks, especially with such unique buildings as there are in New York, like the Empire State Building, the Chrysler Building, things like that. This 3D view is really nice, and it just makes getting around a lot easier for you to figure out where you're at. Let me swipe back up so it goes back into the 2D view. And if I go back to, again, let's say the Natural History Museum was my starting point. If I zoom in a lot, you'll see there's a lot more detail here, and with a lot of buildings, especially New York, you see it's giving me floors here. Google Maps actually gives you indoor maps for certain buildings. So Natural History Museum, for example, other buildings that I saw it with were Macy's, the Museum of Modern Art, just buildings that are really huge and that are easy to get lost in. This will give you a map of the building itself as well. So again, it's inside, and these numbers here on the right are the floors. So if I go to the first floor, it's only going to show me that floor, which is not the whole Natural History Museum, which is why it's smaller. As you can see, it gives you bathrooms and elevators. Just useful things if you're a tourist and you're visiting New York City for the first time. These are things that you'll need to know to get around, and Google Maps makes it really easy to do that. So there you go. And like I said, it was something that was really useful for myself. And one of the other things you can do is on the browser version of Maps, you can add things to the map. So I made a map with my wife, and you go to layers, and then you select My Maps. So here's a map that we made for New York City, and basically we just put things on the map that we wanted to see and do, and it zooms out to show everything that's on the map. The reason it zoomed out so far was because we added a location way over here, but as you can see, we added all these icons, and basically it just made it easier for us to find the things that we wanted to do. And again, you create maps on the browser version, and unfortunately you can't really edit them too well on the mobile version, but once you create them on the browser version, they will show up here on the mobile version, and then you can just see what the icons are. So for example, we added a little martini glass here. If I click on that, its Perdition was a bar that we wanted to check out, and it just makes it easier to organize yourself when you're traveling somewhere. So definitely something worth checking out if you're taking a trip to a city you don't know. And I use New York in this example because I just got back from there, but you could do this certainly with any city. And the bigger the city, the more public transportation, then the more info you're going to be able to find. So hopefully this video helps you out, and if you plan on taking any trips, make sure you give Google Maps a try and using it this way. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for me, make sure to hit me up here on YouTube, or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this in the future, make sure to hit that subscribe button up top. And until next time, good luck getting around a new city should you be taking a trip in the near future. Till next time, take care.